Woohoo! It is Friday, which is absolutely fabulous. Fabulous, do you get it? I have been awake all last night. My anxiety was through the roof. I've had a full week of work. It was a bit shit. And the pandemic is still getting on everybody's fucking nerves. So, you know what? Since I'm highly bouncy with caffeine, let's do this shit. Hi, I'm Kaz and welcome to Fluttermouse House. If it's your first time here, leave a like and subscribe. You don't want to miss what's next. And now, on with the show. Well, hello. Hi, White Tiger. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Sakura Girl. Hi, Evie. Nice to see you all in here. What we're going to do now is we're going to learn a little bit about one of my favourite legends, which is the Axeman of New Orleans. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play that good old vid for you, let you have a watch about that. And I'm going to come back to you and we'll have a chat about it as per normal. And I do have some other things to say about the Axeman as well, which is a bit mysterious. Hi, Living Lizard. Hi, Night Mouse. All right, bear with me just a moment. Let's get this started. New Orleans has always been a fascinating place to me. So imagine my surprise when I found a very interesting case from there. The Axeman of New Orleans was a brutal and still unidentified person who was allegedly responsible for the deaths of about half a dozen people between May 1918 and October 1919. During the Axeman's reign, the police struggled in vain to piece together a profile for him. His MO involved breaking into victims' homes and using their own tools and weapons against them. He preferred to use an axe, which is where he got his nickname. In some of the earliest known murders of the Axeman, a straight razor was used to slash victims' throat. Most of the victims were Italian American, which sparked rumours that the crimes were committed by a mafia hitman, while criminologists on the case suspected the killer was targeting women and only killing male victims when females were not home. But the truth might have been a bit more bizarre than that. The police received a strange letter on March the 13th, 1919, from a man claiming to be the Axeman, in which he comes across as the world's most crazy jazz fan. The letter said, "I am very fond of jazz music, and I swear by all the devils and the nether regions that every person shall be spared in whose home a jazz band is in full swing at the time that I have just mentioned. If everyone has jazz band going, well then, so much better for you people. One thing is certain, and that is that some of your people who do not jazz it on Tuesday night, if there be any, will get the axe." The newspapers published the letter, and then there was a huge wave of nocturnal jazz sessions arranged by people who believed they could keep the killer at bay. It is said that anybody who played jazz on those evenings was not murdered by the Axeman. It even inspired a creepy novelty tune entitled The Mysterious Axeman's Jazz. This tune is available in the description of the video if you want to have a listen to it afterwards. After murdering Mike Pepitone on the October the 27th, 1999, the Axeman promptly vanished without a trace. Or so it would seem. The murders themselves have become the stuff of legend and populated culture, He's sort of a mythical boogeyman, but so famous is he that he managed to make his way into American Horror Story, played by the actor Danny Huston. So that's our short tale of the Axeman of New Orleans. Just do some jazz hands for Evie. So not appropriate. Yeah. Hi, Eminem Mama. Hi, Mrs. Roger Rabbit. Hi, Loopy Lisa, who's just come in. Hello, hello, hello. I haven't missed anybody. Please remind me if I have. Sometimes I need a kick up the arse. Okay, so I just wanted to go through this with you quickly as well. So what I was doing was I was researching this, obviously. The tune that was written about him is in the description below, just in case you didn't catch that in the video, so you can have a look later. But there is a creepypasta that involves a photograph. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to talk about that for a little while. So let me just share the screen. Share the screen. Oh, I can share a video file now. Well, goodness me. I did not know I could do that. Right. Okay. So this is this photograph here. You can't see it very well, but it's basically a street in New Orleans. Now, I don't know about you, but this looks to me like a man with something in his hand. However, given that he used items from inside the houses, it's unlikely. Mr. Shannonite, sorry I'm late. Mandy was giving me a prostate examination with a cactus. Last time, I'll fall for that. Could you pick up that box of Jaffa cakes, Drake? Hey, JC Ray. Won't be in chat, but listening. That's fair enough. I have to do that all the time. Sometimes you're busy and you still want to listen. Absolutely. Okay, so the image above is claimed to be the work of Edouard Martel, a French photographer who travelled across the USA in the early 20th century while testing his new invention, a camera with automatic exposure settings, and a shutter mechanism attached to an adjustable timer. This photo was one of many shots by Martel's new camera, which he often hid from public view to capture the most candid shots possible. Candid photographs are always better. Absolutely. His subjects were usually unaware they were being photographed. Sadly, Martel's invention did not bring him success, and neither would seem did his photos. He reportedly died penniless in 1955, and his large collection was left to his daughter, Jeanne. Jeanne was sorting through that very collection when she allegedly came across a photo dated 28th of October 1919, which depicts a row of houses along an empty New Orleans street, possibly in the early morning hours. Her father had rejected the image on account of the motion blur, which obscures the main features of the man, which can be seen entering one of the houses. And there's a blown-up version of it. The story claims that the home into which the mysterious man is entering was determined to be the residence of Mike Pepitone, the Axeman's final victim. Ever since the image hit the web, rumours and theories began to buzz about its authenticity, which to date has not been confirmed or denied. While there does exist a famous figure named Edward Alfred Martel, he was not a field inventor or photographer, but a renowned pioneer in cave exploration. Then again, the Martel of this story died mostly unknown, so if he exists, no formal documentation has been found on him to date. There's a picture of the guy from American Horror Story. It was mentioned in the video, but that's the original shot. So it could be that somebody captured the Axeman of New Orleans in a photo. And there you go. So that's quite interesting. Hang on. Let me off. I'm looking at the map. What I was doing is, you see me mouse on this page. I was looking at that as if it was on the page I'm looking at. Because I'm a dipshit. Right, there we go. Okay. Okay. Anybody got any questions or anything to say about the Axeman? I've always loved New Orleans. It's on my bucket list. I've always wanted to go. So I hope one day I will make it there, because I would love all the spooky shops and the atmosphere. It's got a real feel for the occult and celebration and good food, great music. So it's somewhere that's definitely on my trip list. Mr. Rabbit says it's Narlands. He's right. It is Narlands. Yeah. One of my favourite films is So I Married an Axe Murderer. I love that movie. It's got Mike Myers. I remember because it makes me laugh. Is it the one where he's going, Heed? When he's got his head in the way. This kid sitting in the way of the television and his dad shouting, Heed! Heed! At him. I think that's the right one. Hey, happy Friday, Stormy with a chance of rainbows. Same to you, sweetheart. Have a great weekend. Loopy Lisa, we need to meet out back for a scrap. You abandoned me. Missed you at lunch. Yeah. So it's all been catching up this week. I haven't had a lot going on apart from the usual. It's not like I've been on holiday anywhere or been out and about much, you know what I'm saying? Kind of limits you. And I don't like to talk drivel. I can avoid it. Fascinating town with a very dark history indeed. I love the American Horror Story series of New Orleans, because I got to watch it. It was just like seeing it. I should have done the evil slaver lady as well, because she's quite creepy, but it's not quite as well. No, it's a good case to cover. I might do that one as well at some stage on a Freaky Friday or a Weird Wednesday. And pick up on that case, because she was a terrible person, and she did experiments on people. I mean, obviously the American Horror Story version is greatly exaggerated, sort of supernaturally, but she wasn't a fun person. Sorry, I'm just catching up on chat on the other screen. Sometimes StreamYard just goes and a whole load of chat comes through together. So it's going to be a short one today, I think. I don't think I'm going to ramble on at you for ages, because it's just not on. Unless anybody has any questions about the case or about any other cases that I've covered, you are welcome to ask. What I'm going to do is, though, I am going to plug White Tigers Thank God It's Friday live tonight. That link is already in the description for this video. What I would suggest you do is get your glad rags on, get yourself ready for some fun. There'll be some diamond painting, some laughs, things like that. People can gather there and have a good laugh. So that link is in the description. Go click on it, set your reminders now. I found the axe case doing genealogy research. I'm going to pin you there, Mrs. Roger Rabbit, so everybody can see, because I haven't got my teeth in. Found axe case doing genealogy research. I was reading about the Dent Wolf girl and got distracted by that Legends and Ghost site. Yes. Rumour says he had more victims. We don't know. That is interesting. I was thinking that, Evie. It is interesting. Dent Wolf girl. Let me just have a look at this. Hang on. Let's just look it up, shall we? Darn it. Let's just go for it. It's Friday. And the Wolf Girl of Devil's River. Oh, good grief, this is long. Okay. Whose blog is this? One Dusty Track. How do I credit it? Somebody called Ken. It just says Ken. So what we'll do is, since he's done the work, we'll credit him, because that's what people do. Right. Okay. And let's have a look at what Ken's had to say. He's done a whole blog on the case. Okay. So in the late 1930s, when the land and people were still wild, two men, John Dent and Will Marlowe, became fur trapping partners in the backwoods of Georgia. Wild game was plentiful, and for a few years things went smoothly. Then, in the spring of 1843, an argument broke out over the division of their winter catch. Death and a strange tale resulted, all because of a woman, of course. Terrible us women. While trapping near the cabin of a mountain man, John fell in love with the man's beautiful young daughter, Molly Peters. Fortunately for John, Molly had fallen in love with him too, and the two became engaged to be married. When John and Will had become partners, they made a pact to jointly sell the pelts they trapped and divide the money equally. But with marriage on the horizon, John wanted to take the pelts and sell them himself, since he was sure he could get more selling them separately. Hi, bitches, bro. After a bitter quarrel, Will relented and did things John's way. Soon after, though, Will began telling townsfolk that he had been cheated. This continued for a few weeks until a vicious fight occurred and John stabbed his old partner to death. That seems harsh. Since public opinion was against him, there was nothing for John to do but quickly leave the country. Before leaving, however, he managed to see his young love and tell her he was going to find a place where they could be together and that he would return to steal her away. Ah. A whole year passed, and people soon lost interest in the matter. During this time, every morning and every evening, Molly stood outside her father's cabin, silently looking off into the distance. Not once, as far as anyone knew, did she hear from her lover. Then, a little after sundown on April the 13th, 1844, as she did every day, the mountain girl went to the barn to milk the cow. After she had been gone an unusually long time, her father decided to investigate. He found the cow unmilked, and in the empty pail a bowie knife with dried blood around the hilt. The peculiar staghorn handle made it easy to identify as the knife which John Dent had killed Will Marlowe. In the dark, Molly's father searched and called for her but could find no trace. The next morning, after summoning the surrounding mountaineers and a few townspeople, the search began again. They found the tracks of a man and a woman leading to the Chickamauga River. On the bank, under the overhang of a leaning tree, they found a freshly driven wooden stake to which a small canoe had evidently been tied. Molly was gone with no explanation and without a moment's preparation. All she took with her were the clothes on her back. 6 months later, a letter arrived at Mr. Peters' lonely cabin. It was postmarked Galveston, Texas, and read, "The devil has a river in Texas that is all his own, and it is made only for those who are grown. Yours with love, Molly." In those days, the people of Georgia were not familiar with the rivers of Texas or their names. Even in Texas itself, few folks knew anything about the Devil's River, far to the west of San Antonio. Along its banks was a small colony of Dolores, sparsely populated with mostly Spanish-speaking people. It was the last outpost of the settlements. Poor Mr. Peters and his neighbors merely consented that somewhere in Texas John Dent had to himself a river on which to trap. They knew Dent was a devil all right, but they were surprised at Molly's admitting it. John and his bride settled near Dolores, but like the lone wolf he was, he built a small log cabin a few miles away from the town. Within a year, however, the colony was abandoned. Indians killed most of the settlers. A few went back to Mexico. The remainder, 14 adults and 3 children, headed east for more civilized territory. The Comanche caught and attacked them at an unnamed lake near what is now Carrizo Springs. After killing them all, the Indians threw their bodies into the waters. The Mexicans named the lake Espantosa, which means frightful, and to this day, people consider the lake to be haunted. 2 days ride west of the of Dolores, 2 or 3 Mexican families who, like John, had an agreement with the Indians, raised a few goats in the Pecos Canyon. About noon one day in August 1845, during a thunderous rainstorm, a man on a horse rode up to one of these ranches. He told the Mexican ranchero and his wife that he was camped where Dry Creek runs into Devil's River. He said his wife was giving birth to a baby and they desperately needed help. As the rancher and his wife saddled up their horses, though, a bolt of lightning struck the wooden hitching post, killing the messenger standing impatiently beside it. This, of course, considerably delayed the helpful Mexicans. From the description of the campsite given by the man, the ranchero knew the location, but night came before they reached the river. They did not find the camp until the next morning. There, under a sheltering tree, lay the woman dead, alone. Indications pointed to the fact that she had died giving birth to a child, but no baby could be found. Tracks around the tree made the rancheros suspect that Lobo wolves had devoured the infant. In the pocket of the dead woman's dress, the Good Samaritans found a letter. After burying the unfortunate woman, they took the letter with them to show to the first person they might encounter who could read English. A few months later, a white man did come along and read the letter. It was written a few weeks before her death by Molly Peters Dent and addressed to her father. It served to identify her and her husband, and so the romance suddenly and tragically ended. 10 years passed, and a wagon road had been laid out across the new Republic of Texas from San Antonio to El Paso. This seldom traveled road went by San Felipe Springs, where there were a few Mexicans, and across on Devil's River in 1855, a young boy living at San Felipe Springs told of seeing a pack of wolves attacking a herd of goats, and with them a creature, long hair half covering its features, that looked more like a naked girl. Some cowboys passing through the settlement heard the story and quizzed the boy, but they seemed more interested in getting his description of what a naked girl looked like than getting the information about the strange creature, he reported. The boy was accused of fabricating the tale, but the story spread amongst the surrounding settlers. A little over a year later, an Indian woman outside San Felipe declared that she had seen two big wolves and a naked girl eating a freshly killed goat. She was able to get close, but they saw her and all three ran. The naked girl at first ran on all fours, but then rose up and ran on 2 feet, keeping up with the wolves. Other Indians also reported seeing barefoot human tracks mixed among wolf tracks in the sandy places along the river. The few people in Devil's River County began to keep a sharp lookout for the girl. They remembered the disappearance of poor Molly Dent's infant amid wolf tracks. The men told of how the female wolves carry their young by the scruff of the neck without injuring them. Perhaps, they said, some female wolf, having lost her own young, had carried the newborn to her den and raised it. Being confronted with unmistakable evidence of a human being reared and running wild with wolves, a hunt was organized to capture the Lobo girl, as she had now come to be called. On the third day of the hunt, 2 riders found the girl in a side canyon. She was with a big black wolf, and both of them ran at the sight of the men. The wolf and the girl became separated, and when she dodged into a crevice in the rocks, here the men cornered her. She cowered at first, but as the men reached out for her, she spat and hissed like a wildcat and began to fight, biting and clawing. While the men were tying her, she began to emit pitiful, frightful, unearthly sounds, described as resembling both the scream of a woman and the howl of a wolf, but being neither. As she was howling this awful scream, the big wolf that had been separated from her suddenly appeared, rushing at her captors. The men's lives were saved when one of them saw it before it could get close enough to get its powerful jaws out, and he managed to shoot it with his pistol. Nice. Nice, dude. Nice. You steal that child and then you shoot them. Nice. When she saw the animal companion lying in the dirt, the girl fell into a silent faint. After she was securely tied, I'm liking this story less and less. The men closely examined the creature. She had a full head of long, tangled, dirty hair that had obviously never seen scissors, and very hairy arms and legs. Her hands and arms were muscled in extraordinary manner, but not ill-proportioned. Other features showed she was a normally framed human female. The Lobo girl was taken to the nearest ranch and placed unbound, finally, in a sturdy room, used to store potatoes. After she revived, the rancher's wife offered her clothes, food, and water, but the girl would only cower in the corner, hissing and howling in such a threatening manner that no one dared to come near her. Finally, the girl was tightly fastened and she was left alone for the night. Shortly after darkness fell, the girl began howling her unearthly wail. The sounds travelled through the logs and far into the surrounding desert. Soon they were all answered by the long drawn out deep howls of wolves. The lobos seemed to answer from all sides, near and far. The ranchers who had heard wolf howls all their lives had never heard anything like this. It seemed to them that all the wolves in the Western world were gathering around. It was easy to tell the wolves were getting nearer and nearer, their sudden soul-chilling howls getting louder and closer. The wolves began to howl in unison, a chorus of ferocity and darkness and lost hopes, such as no man had ever heard. Then they would be silent as if waiting for an answer, and the wild captured creature would let forth with her unearthly scream a voice neither of woman or beast. That's what I was thinking, even lizard. After a time, the great pack rushed to the ranch, attacking goats, cows, and horses. The noises brought the men out into the light, yelling and shooting into the dark shadows. A few minutes later, the men heard the girl emit her scream once more, and the lobos retreated into the darkness. After gathering themselves, the shaken men went to the little potato bin, and somehow the lobo girl had managed to wrench off the crossboard which held the door closed and made her escape. Yes. It was supposed she rejoined the wolves, since no howls were heard the rest of the night. The next day, no tracks of the girl could be found for a long time afterwards. The sight of a wolf in the area was very rare. For 6 years, nothing more was heard of the wolf girl of Devil's River, and then in the spring of 1862, a trio of men passing through their way to the gold fields of California told of seeing a long-haired naked girl on the banks of the Rio Grande, far above the mouth of Devil's River. She seemed to be suckling 2 wolf pups. But before the men could get close enough to get a good look, the girl jumped up with a pup under each arm and ran into the dense brush faster than any horse could follow. Their story was met with stares and silence, but the residents knew it could have been none than the wild wolf girl. As far as is known, the girl was never seen by a man again. For many years, the Indians told of occasionally seeing human footprints mixed with wolves far out in the wilds, and even today there are whispers by Mexican cowboys who ride their horses to the remote, unpopulated ranges of a rarely glimpsed pack of strange-looking wolves with almost human faces. Of course, everyone knows that can't be. These brave men will tell you, though, it sure is unsettling when you are camping at night alone in the remote brush country of far west Texas and you happen to glance into the darkness to see a wolf watching you through human eyes. That was a fabulously written. Thank you very much, Ken. That was wonderful. I hope he catches the show at some stage because that was brilliant. I'm just going to pop the link to the article in the chat. Wonderful. Well written. And I am very much of the thought that you should be, yes, let us stay with the wolves. Gisborough. Good Lord, Gisborough's not that far away from me, Mrs. Roger Rabbit. Evie, obviously. So yes, I was very, very much, thank you, Evie. Let your fingers do the talking. Click the likey button. Likey like that. Oh, that's trippy. I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I've got YouTube on the other side. Trippy. That was really strange, wasn't it? That. And it's plausible that an animal could raise a child, I suppose. But I'm upset that all of the treatment. So you know that this girl's living wild. She's living with wolves. She's feeding on whatever. She's all right. She's a bit bedraggled looking. You'd expect that for her to be naked, because why would she wear clothes? She doesn't know about clothes. She doesn't know she should be ashamed of her body, allegedly. And of course her hair's grown. Yeah. Yeah, it's Fabulous, absolutely fabulous story. I'd never heard that. Thank you, Mrs. Roger Rabbit. I had never heard that story. Hi, Mandy. I didn't see you come in, sweetheart. Hiya. So it was. I'm still very much. I was like leaning towards what Leaping Lizard said. I'm like, leave her alone. Leave her the hell alone. she's living with the wolves. She's got a bit of Mowgli stuff going on. Just leave her be. She doesn't need to be tied up and put in a potato shed. Damage is already done now. Just let her go hunting with her buddies. There are a few documented stories about infants being raided by wild animals. I might look some more up. I can't help but think, though, it's going to upset me because what I'll be thinking is like they're going to have sad endings, aren't they? Most of them. I'll be quite upset. For those into wolves, they play Leicester City at 2 p.m. GMT Sunday afternoon. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you like your wolves. You've heard of that story before. Yeah, I'd never heard of it. I've heard bits and pieces of parts of stories. I've heard some really strange stories in my days, obviously. Hi, Lou. Hi, Louie. Nice to see you. Hi. I was about to go to bed. Hi. There is a story to this. I promise I'll just do in the chat bit at the minute. But there's actually two stories because Mrs. Roger Rabbit came in and told me about something that I was curious. Oh, in this family, may be better off being raised by wolves. Well, let's face it, we're all seen those parents who have those children who act like wild animals. So they're always the ones that just ignore them, don't they? They just kind of go, oh, that is not my kid. I don't know anything about it. Whose is this child here screaming? Oh, his family abandoned him. Oh, that's so sad. And the dogs take care of him. Doesn't it show you like human beings sometimes aren't up to much? Hello, within line between love and homicide. Happy Friday. So yes, I just feel sad that they did that to her. How traumatic it must have been. They just like tie her up, shoot a wolf parent. Dickheads. Sorry. I'm sure I'll get over it. But it's like everybody's fine. It's Friday. We're all I'm highly caffeinated from zero sleep last night. Zero. Say that's zero. Yeah. Sleep. Far too much caffeine. I was telling Evie earlier, I'm literally full of beans right now. It's and children is full of children. Your district is full of children apparently raised by nobody at all. You'd think, wouldn't you? They just run around the place. No, I don't like cruelty to animals either. I don't. I mean, I'm not vegan, so I'm probably a hypocrite, but I have to live with that because bacon is delicious, and that's just life. I'm afraid. I can imagine wolves are great parents. Hey, Jess, how you doing? Nice to see you. I can imagine wolves are great parents because, well, they work in a pack, don't they? So they have like a community thing going on. So they're all protective. Has anybody seen the live action version of the Jungle Book? Because I didn't think I would like that. And then I watched it. And oh my God, I cried. I cried so much. Oh, I just, it is lovely to see you. I know you're really busy, and I kind of leave you alone because I'm like, I know she's busy, but it's lovely to see you. I have I'm doing a lot this weekend. Your TikTok tonics will be out as always on Saturday. Wow, hey White Tiger, thank you very much. You didn't need to do that. You get the big shout out. Yay! I'm doing a lot this weekend. I am on White Tiger's channel twice this weekend. Well, I'll say twice. It might be once if I fall asleep tonight, but she knows the circumstances, so I might be forgiven for that. But I'll see if I can stay awake. I am shattered. Romulus and Remus. What, you're not vegan? Can we still be friends as I'm eating salmon? Well, yes, of course, we could still be friends. I hope we could still be friends. With the salmon. I'm not that busy. Miss you. Right, I will message you then, sweetheart. I don't know if it'll be right now because I am dead on my feet. But I will. I will do it when I wake up. And we'll catch up again. We'll have a chat. You were balling at the Jungle Book as well. Yeah, I was no good. It's like those weepy movies like Marley and Me. I don't know why I watched that twice. I'm just trying to hide the cup because it's got coffee stains on it and it's just disgusting, really. Don't give a fuck. Just want the coffee. I don't care. I've lost my mind. Waving back to cars like a crazy person. I do that when I'd be meetings at work. I'm like, bye, bye. I'm not even on the camera. What am I doing? Yeah, it's a cryptic title. But the Thank God It's Friday one is tonight. I think the pandemic sucks. The world is a really weird place and continues to be. And I think going to Tiggs's, I keep calling that Tiggs, White Tiger's channel tonight to blow off some steam, have a laugh with some friends is a solid plan right now. Everybody needs it. Switch to Marley and Me before they move north. So switch off my. Just like, oh, this is a lovely film. It'd be like when Phoebe and Friends watches Old Yeller, but she doesn't because her mother switches it off before it gets to the bad bit, and she thinks it's a happy movie. Yes, desensitized. I mean, when I was little, I remember cry. I used to watch Lassie, the TV show with the dog. And that would have me crying on the regular. I used to think Lassie was injured and I would be crying. And it's weird in movies, people die and I'm like, meh. Animals die and I'm like, oh, yeah, poor dog. I Am Legend, when he has the dog and something happens to the dog. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but if you haven't seen it by now, whatever. I Am Legend, oddly, I think, is it I Am Legend that was the plague of zombie vampire things was caused by a vaccine that didn't work. Be grateful if you don't like the US. Yeah, well, yes. To be fair though, Jess, you like a bit of banter. You like a bit of like verbal battling. I think you enjoy it and you're good at it, so why not? You build during that movie. Yeah, it's no good. The same cry like a baby when animals get hurt. Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? Loads of people. Oh, yes, there's White Tiger. So please, we will schedule that eventually, Tiger. I promise. So much stuff to do, so little time. I will get that watched probably Sunday. I have got Snooper Sunday as well. I don't know what time it'll be scheduled as yet, but keep an eye on your subscriptions page. Check the channel if you have to. I will share, if you follow me on Twitter, I am at Fledermaus. I will share the link there, and I will also start sharing the links, I think, on the community page. Yes, Evie. It's just mortifying, isn't it? You're just like, oh no. Yes, I know, Jess. Oh no, what's that about? Let me have a look, bitches brew. I'll have a look. The Grey. Liam Neeson. See, she can't use Google. Oh, right. I'm going to have a read of the synopsis. The Grey, 2011, is a survival film co-written, produced, and directed by Joe Conahan. I don't want to know all that. Just give us the plot. Oh. Oh. Oh, wow. I think this rings a bell. This sounds pretty darned good, actually. I think I might have seen it. Yeah. Yes, do check that movie out. Bitches Brew is spot on. Yeah, it's a good one. There was another one that was similar to that where there was a bunch of kids at a ski resort and they got stuck on a... Which movie was that? They got stuck on the ski lift. It's a horror movie and there's not much to it, but it's still quite scary. Movie kids stuck on ski lift. Frozen. That's it. Not to be mistaken for Let It Go, Let It Go, I don't give a shit anymore. That one. Sorry. I told you I'd had too much coffee. This is not good. Okay. Yeah, it's Frozen, it's called 2010 movie. That's quite a good one if you've got a couple of hours to kill, about a bunch of kids that get stuck on a snow lift, like a ski lift. There is sometimes when you say your truth, it makes their head spin. I told a Trump supporter I'm grateful for Trump because he single-handedly destroyed the Republican. Worky ticket. Right. I'm not a hacker. Hi, I'm not a hacker. Are you not a hacker? Because if you're not, that's disappointing, because I would be calling you for IT advice. I'd be like, mate, can you help us transfer these documents over from one app to another, please? Because I'm sick of trying to do it. Loopy Lisa, do you want to build a snowman? No! Okay. Facebook memory came up the other was a pic of a white tiger in a sanctuary. Lovely. Lovely. Oh dear. Right. Well, it's been 40 minutes. I might expire at any moment. You know, the lighting up above, it just does wonders for the shiny forehead. And the roots need doing. Just remind everybody in chat, just remind Evie she needs to dye her hair. I am not a hacker. First time, yeah. I don't know if I've said it before. Your name's familiar, though. Your name's familiar. Oh, Zephyr. My sister messages me, do you want to build a snowman, when she's thinking about me. I used to hear that movie. She's made me love it. Yeah. I had a colleague at work who used to sing that to me a few years ago, over and over again, because I really didn't like Frozen much at all. I don't mind it as it happens, but it's like, you know, I don't want to build a snowman. I want to drink wine and sit in the house in front of the fire. That's what I want to do when it's snowing. Speaking of which, we are forecast snow this next week, so I'll try and get out in that. Yeah, she's going red. Sorry, Evie, had to do it. I'm very excited about it, you see. Very excited. There you go, Mandy's got you now. There you go, Evie, you need to dye your hair. I got a message going, thanks. Thanks, Kaz. Oh, dear. So there we go. So what we've done today is we've talked about the Axeman of New Orleans. We've talked about the fact that he might have been seen in a photograph, and then we had that fantastic story when Mrs. Roger Rabbit came in. Lovely to see you, and told us about the Wolf Girl, and we read that story by that wonderful blogger who we only know as Ken. So thanks, Ken. That was pretty cool. How much snow? I don't know yet, Jess. Apparently a lot. It was enough to make my husband book the week off work, the forecast. So I think it's a Mr. Casbah books the week off work kind of snow. I still don't have an exact measurement, but it does give you a fair idea. Oh yeah, I cried at Toy Story. Was anybody else kind of creeped out by it? You know, the evil toys, Sid's toys that he's putting like, oh, we have so much darn snow coming down here, and we can all build a snowman. We'll be yes, the week. We'll be coming like over here, like oh my god, oh my god, we need to dig ourselves out. I mean, I'll get the shopping tomorrow. I'll make sure I've got enough shopping for a week and a half, just in case. Because it doesn't start snowing until Monday, apparently. So if I do build a snowman, I will, of course, film it, because the thought of Chubby here scrolled around in the garden with, you know, like it would be with a snowball is just, yeah. Can't watch The Lion King. Oh, no. The claws. The scene in The Lion King where Scar chucks him off the Mufasa off the rock always reminds me very much of Kate Winslet in Titanic, because it looks to me like she just sort of like, oh, I'll just accidentally let go of you, Jack. I won't let go. I won't let go. As she's letting go, I'm like, yes, psychopath. You sit in the house and watch us all build snowmen. Okay, it's a deal. It's a deal. You cried at the end of Game of Thrones, but then Jon Snow never bothered me anyway. Jon Snow never bothered me anyway. Funny how Khaleesi turns evil. Right. So hold. Oh, now hush. Oh, now hush. Not true. Not true. And even if it is true, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. My favorite thing to do in the winter is to watch the snow on TV from Nevada. Yeah. You did have some rain though recently, didn't you? You were telling us you had some rain, which is cool. Mrs. Roger Rabbit, I probably shouldn't mention that my spring garden is already going strong than her. So Girl, my daffodils are already blooming. Tulips and hyacinths should bloom in the next month or so. Wow. Amazing. Everything here just sort of looks like a stick. Apart from, for some reason, the honeysuckle, which has decided it's going to grow, and the chlamydia, which has decided, I mean, that's clematis for anybody who lives in the real world. It's got sprouts. It's grown already, and it's like, how can you be growing in this cold? I cry because dragons aren't real. Me too. I don't like it. Yeah. I don't. How could you say such a thing, Evie? How could you say such a thing? Just cruel, right? My garden might turn green in July if I'm lucky. I just put Mandy up laughing. Beans and peas are already 6 inches tall. Now, this is just bragging. You know, I mean, at least you just said 6 inches. You didn't say any bigger than that, Mrs. Roger Rabbit, because, you know, we would have had to see pictures, because, you know, Pixar, it didn't happen. Sometimes that's all we can do. That's right, Jess. Oh, night mouse. You want a pet dragon? I think dragons are real. I honestly do. I like to think that, at least they were. Oh, clematis is the only thing with. Yeah, for some reason, it seemed like it completely died off last year. It was really quite pathetic after having bloomed brilliantly the couple of years before that. And it was like a bit hit and miss. and now it's grown buds in the freezing cold. So go figure. I'll send you my neighbour. She's a dragon. That's right, Jess. When it comes to size, we sometimes need receipts because, I mean, that just reminds me of unsolicited pictures, isn't it? It's just like, why would you send that to me? Don't send that to me. Just so we're clear, we're talking about. All right, is that right? Beans isn't a euphemism for something then. Would you like to climb my beanstalk? You little ho ho ho. Sorry, I can't. I really need to lay off the coffee. Like, it's just, yeah. Dragons, Mothman, Rogaro. They could be real. Yes. Mothman's on my list for this show. I want to see if I can get somebody on to talk about it who's an enthusiast in the subject, shall we say. It's been in the 60s, 70s for weeks here. Louis, Texas is warm, but we do have a minor freeze warning for next weekend, so we'll have to go out and cover everything. Yeah, keep everything safe. Don't let it die. Why'd you have to go and let it die? To people who don't know who the Foo Fighters are, that meant nothing. I'm going to stop singing random things. Why can't I stop? I think the answer is in this cup. And I'm still drinking it. Okay then. You said Jack. What's a Rougarou? Shall we look at Rougarou up? Rougarou. I'll let Deep Lizard answer the question though. Because she will know, because she's into all this. Let's get our cryptid out. Okay, let me share the screen so I say the pictures, because I like to see the pictures. Show me the pictures. Okay, right. There we go. Right, so Rougarou or Loup-garou, which kind of sounds Australian, meaning a man who turns into an animal, is a shape-shifting monster that lives in the swamps of Louisiana. Rougarou is actually the mischief word for werewolf. It is like a werewolf, but can turn into wolf form at any time. This is what makes the Rougarou much more dangerous. Cajun folklore says that it stalks the swamps of I can't even speak. Acadiana. I'm guessing that is, when I sort myself out. And Greater New Orleans. Oh, back in New Orleans again. It is often used by parents to get their children to behave. You know, this gives me pause. This sentence here. Like, hey, look, Tiger, look, World of Warcraft advert. It knows you're here. So yeah, it is often used by. So does this mean like the threaten that children with it, like the Rougarou will get you? Oh, does it mean like the higher one and just let it chase that children around the living room until they're tired? If someone who can sing, so sing only one. Plenty of other people no one wants to hear, so they should just not do it. This is true. Mr. Shannon, I remember when dragons were real, when damsels needed saving, when dwarfs would sing and fairy godmothers were ten a penny. These days I can't remember where the remote is. Oh, bless. Right. Catholics have their own version as well. They say that the Rougarou is a monster that will stalk and murder Catholics that do not obey the rules of Lent. Tiger, are you in here? Is this true? Some people say that the curse or blessing for evil people only lasts for 101 days. The curse is then transferred to the person bitten. Okay. Cow mutilations have been reported with no blood left in the body. Okay. Entertainment. Cedar Point Amusement Park in Ohio has a ride named after this beast. Which area the ride in a style like a Louisiana swamps. Let's say go So Cedar Point Rougarou. Right, okay. Cedar Point Rougarou. Right, do you want to go on the roller coaster? Let's go on the roller coaster. Here we go. 2 seconds. Put the sound on. Oh, can I just say this is the closest I'd ever get to go on a roller coaster? I'm terrified of them. Oh, oh, even watching it. Does anybody else tip their head to the left then? And the right. Oh, woo. That was cool. I like that. I love those roller coaster videos. If you're ever like just a bit stressed, the real fun way to just bleh. Yeah, they make their own rules. So it is just the Cajuns then. It's just the Cajun Catholics. As they were saying that the Catholics have their own version of this beast that curses them. You almost screamed, I hate it. Me too. Me too. It was fun. It was really fun. Thank you for that, for mentioning that leaping lizard, because otherwise we wouldn't have gone down that little rabbit hole, and then we would have missed out on a roller coaster ride. That was fun. Now you're dizzy. It was okay. Who threw up on me? Come on, let's all go to the popcorn stand. Let's go and get some stinky, greasy donuts and some. That's what they have in the UK at film fairs. We don't just have candy floss. We have these. For some reason, they do these donuts that are just all kinds of bad for you. Evie, that was probably me. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let you go. There are things to be doing. I would like you now in a couple of hours to go over to Tig's Live, have a bit of a laugh there, and I will catch you on the flip side of this. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming and joining me. I've had a wonderful time with you all, as always. Thank you to my mods. I love you. And just enjoy your weekend. And you know where I'm at? Catch up with me. All right. Lots of love. Oh, wait. What am I waiting for? What am I waiting for? Oh, you read it? Let me know when you're done. Oh, happy birthday. Does that mean I have to sing happy birthday to you? Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday. A thin line between love and homicide. Bit of a mouthful, but we'll go for it. Happy birthday to you. Not that rubbish. Right, this is from a company called Topsy Curvy in the United Kingdom. They do all sorts of sassy big girl t-shirts. So if you're a bit curvier and you like a bit of sass, look them up. Topsy Curvy. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Sorry. Well, I know, but I don't like to mention people's real names without permission. I've been told off for that before. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Michelle. Happy birthday to you. There you go. You got it with your real name. There you go. You got birthday cake from Leap and Lizard. Happy birthdays. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Bitches Brew, you would love this company. You would. You would love the Topsy Curvy company. They've got some really good t-shirts. Happy birthday to you. Serenaded by everybody. Thank you, Sakura Girl. I love it as well. It's one of my faves. You are very welcome, sweetheart. Have a lovely day. It falls on a Friday, so it's the weekend, so that's nice. But I do get worried now. Like the weekend doesn't once mean what it did because you could go out places on the weekend and not so much now. But never mind. We have to entertain ourselves. So we've got TikTok Tonics tomorrow. Tomorrow, that was proper Geordie. TikTok Tonics tomorrow, and then Sunday we'll have Snipper Sunday. White Tiger is on in a couple of hours, I believe. 10, 11, 12. Yes, 2 hours time. White Tiger is on. Go and pay her a visit. Have some fun. I might be asleep, but if I'm awake still, I definitely will be there. And I will definitely be on our channel tomorrow. So, guys, again, we'll do this again. That's how I need to talk to her on my birthday. There you go. Take care, everyone. Thanks for dropping by. Love to all. Hey, Margot. Lovely to see you. Mwah. Short and sweet. All right. Take care of yourselves again. Please do. Be safe. I love you lots. Thanks to all of my moderators again. I love you guys. You're fucking awesome. And I shall see you next time. Bye. Bye bye for now.